Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Our program will begin in just a few minutes. Please welcome this year's Hall of Fame host, from Fox News, Bret Baier.
Good evening, everybody. Everybody's getting to their seat. Good evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor and a pleasure for me to be here tonight. I tried very hard to get here very quickly from my show up on Capitol Hill. Raced over as fast as I could. I bring greetings from the panel, Charles Krauthammer and crew. You know, we've been covering the fiscal cliff a lot this week. It's been pretty interesting, both sides using some interesting words and terminology. We had some interesting phrases to describe opponents' initial proposals. We had ludicrous, ridiculous, silly, nuts, offensive, non-serious, crazy, un-American, a pipe dream, nowhere, clownish, a complete fantasy, a fairy tale, unicorn stuff, La La Land, and today we heard the phrase, magic beans and fairy dust. So there seems to be much more of a focus on the child story-like description. So we're trying to read in what exactly that means for the negotiations with 26 days to go. We don't know what that means. It's a real pleasure to be your MC tonight. This is a great event. I love this because it's a joining of junior achievement and also the successful business folks, the laureates and the up-and-comers. The young people out there, listen up, because there will be pearls of wisdom that you'll hear tonight. And you just heard it from Giuseppe Cecchi there, the first laureate inducted tonight. I always tried to copy the best, and these people are people worth emulating tonight, to listen to. I'm a news anchor, but down deep, I'm a reporter, and I like to report things. So tonight, each one of the laureates, after each one, I'm going to provide just a little nugget, something you didn't hear in the intro, you didn't hear in the speech, but I've managed to dig up from some sources. Hopefully things that they don't mind that I'm telling you about, that I learned from family or friends. So, for the first laureate, you just heard from Giuseppe Cecchi moments ago. You heard from Bill Thomas, and then you heard him mention that he came to the U.S. from Milan, Italy in 1960. What you didn't hear is that when Giuseppe got here, he had a bit of a lead foot. He was very fast driving, going from project to project, speeding around. In fact, he got a lot of traffic tickets here in Washington. So eventually, he got a driver, actually a former military officer, an Italian police officer, secret police officer from Italy, a carabinieri. I think I said that right. More like a state trooper from Italy to drive him around. The trouble was Giuseppe had so many speeding tickets, he had to go to driving school. Used to have to go to driving school for the tickets. But see, he was too busy with all the projects. So Giuseppe sent the carabinieri to the driving school. And that worked out for him. I don't know if that would fly today, but it worked out for him. So that gives you a flavor for the kind of nuggets I'll provide throughout the evening. As we continue our program, you should know about an exciting giveaway. Thanks to our friends at Omega World Travel, Delta Airlines, Air France, and Hilton Worldwide, tonight one lucky winner, one of you, will enjoy round-trip airfare for two to Paris, plus two-night accommodations at Trianon Palace Versailles, a Waldorf Astoria hotel. This is a big prize. Students from area junior achievement schools will be making their way around the ballroom during the meal service, so please drop your business card in with them. Just one per person, please, for a chance to win. And now, please welcome me right now, if I can have your attention. Please join me in welcoming, the President and CEO for Junior Achievement for Greater Washington, Ed Grenier. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome again to the Washington Business Hall of Fame. I know how fast Brett drove to get here on time, so I'm going to start with Brett. Thank you for being here. I know how busy it was during the presidential election. I should share with you, ladies and gentlemen, that Brett was always at the other end of an email, always on the other end of a phone call. So thank you, Brett, for being here. I also want to thank our friends right here from Capital One. They've been sponsors of this event and the Hall of Fame for many years, and especially thanks for your support of our Finance Park program. So thank you, Capital One. I want to recognize our long-term founding partners, the Washingtonian, represented here, somewhere over here, with Kathy Merrill Williams, the publisher. There she is. Hey, Kathy, thank you. And the Greater Washington Board of Trade, represented by Jim Diniger, our CEO of the Board of Trade. Thank you, Jim. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you look around this room, you look at this stage, there's a lot of details, there's a lot of moving parts in this event, so I just want to recognize our staff. We have one of the top staffs, I'd say, in Greater Washington, so thank you all for pulling this all together. Thank you, staff. And our board of directors, I would say we have one of the top board of directors in Greater Washington as well, and I want to thank you all for being here. You're all here tonight. And especially this year, the chair of our board, Dan Wage, and the CEO of BB&T Bank is here. Thank you, Dan. And last but not least, this room didn't just fill itself. Trust me, it didn't just fill itself. And we had a wonderful committee this year of committed business leaders who worked tirelessly day after day, night after night. And I want to say thank you. Their names are in the program book. I just want to say thank you to all of you for being here. And last but not least, Bob Pincus. Any group of, yes, Bob. Bob, join me up on stage, please, here. Come on, it's part of the deal. Yes, I didn't tell you about this part. Any volunteer effort of this scale has to have a volunteer leader. Don't look at that yet, Bob. Has to have a volunteer leader, and we had one
cooking up there
in Bob Pincus that I have to tell you, everyone, he was second to none. And I wanted you standing up here while I made this announcement tonight. With Bob's leadership, Junior Achievement raised $1.3 million tonight. Bob. Thank you. And so when you have a Bob Pincus, what do you give a Bob Pincus? He has every award, he has every trophy, he has every plaque. So we know you're an avid skier. So we have some nice words of wisdom, nice words of thanks on here for this ski. And it's our hope that you'll sit that in the back, in the corner of your office, and when you get that urge to go skiing, you'll look at it, you'll remember this evening, but most importantly, you remember about the impact you've had on all the kids because of your hard work. So thank you, Bob.
No. He's giving me one ski. There's another accident coming.
Right. Just don't ski on it, Bob. We can take that back. Seriously. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's about our 5 laureates. You've already met one. The other 4 are surrounded up here on the stage, up here with their friends, their family. And I know how proud they are and excited they are to have you all to share in this special moment. You know, it's interesting when I was reflecting on this evening, that ski is getting in the way here. When I was pulling together my thoughts for this evening, I was struck by how appropriately a quote by Nelson Mandela captured this evening so appropriately, and I want to read you this quote. I want to start this way, and so I wrote it down so I don't miss a word. He said, "A leader is like a shepherd. He stays behind the flock, letting the most nimble go out ahead, whereupon the others follow, not realizing that all along they are being directed from behind." Ladies and gentlemen, our 5 laureates tonight are living their dreams. And along the way, they've mentored and they've nurtured the talents of thousands of individuals to share in their dreams and to ultimately share in their successes. Excuse me. Which brings me to what's so important and what's so unique about this evening. Because tonight, going forward, Junior Achievement will hold these 5 individuals up, along with the others from the past 25 years, as role models in front of the 900,000 K-12 students in Greater Washington. We'll hold up their hard work, we'll hold up their integrity, and we'll hold up their inspiration. You know, as an organization, Junior Achievement is really in the American dream business. That's why we exist. Every day our focus is on empowering kids to find success in the modern economy, whatever that success may be. You know, I heard Brett mention about the tough economic times we have now, and I know Giuseppe also mentioned that. And as we're sending students out into an uncertain job market, I can stand here this evening and tell you that there are some certainties. What is certain is that students that are exposed to financial literacy education and workplace education are more likely to navigate their way successfully into and through the job market. They'll also be less likely to become saddled with debt or to make poor financial decisions. Ladies and gentlemen, these are your future employees I'm talking about. These are the young people your company should be looking to hire in the next 5 to 10 years. And so our purpose is crystal clear. We're allowing young people to take the rudder on their personal journeys to find success on their own terms. Now, that's an amazing gift to give any kid. It's why we're all here tonight, and it's what we're accomplishing tonight. It's what you're funding. And it's something I think we should all collectively be very proud of, because I know Junior Achievement is. And so on behalf of the 52,000 students we serve in Greater Washington here every year, thank you again for being here. Congratulations to our 5 laureates. Thank you for your support. And most importantly, thank you for your ongoing commitment to kids. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm going to borrow that.
Hey, Grenier, everybody. You know what? He's made for television. He worked the room with this mic. I'm going to do that. This theater in the round thing, you got to get used to it without the podium. Hello over here. I didn't mean to be turning my back on you. I apologize. And by the way, Bob, just to make sure you know, those are not for skiing. That's just for decoration, because they looked a little old. Okay. It is inspiring Ed, to hear you talk about junior achievement and all looking around this room, the support that junior achievement is getting through the Washington community. And as we look at the laureates who are being inducted tonight, let's remember that throughout the night. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce our second pair of presenters this evening. The Congressman from the great state of Maryland, the Honorable Steny Hoyer, accompanied by Ms. Shanika Jones.
Step down. Senator Mikulski has given me a lot of practice doing this.
I'm not old enough to drive yet, and I don't know much about cars. But I'd be happy to take a Lexus LFA 2012 off your hands if you got one laying around, Mr. Darvish. Here to introduce the founder of Dark Cars Automotive, please welcome Congressman Steny Hoyer.
Excuse me, but she's also going to make sure I do it correctly. Shanika, thank you very much. Shanika is in our fourth grade. Good news, we can't hear you. Here's the bad news. This one works. You know, when you say that, Paul Sarbanes used to love to tell this story. He was giving a speech. There were about 400 or 500 people there. And like this gentleman over here, guy in the back of the room raised his hand and said, "Senator, I can't hear you." Immediately, the guy in the front row jumped up and said, "I can, and I'll trade places with you." Put your hand down. I am so honored to be here to honor my friend of many decades, someone who is, I think, worthy of being honored by us and who has honored us throughout his life by his service to us. John and Judy Darvish, I am so proud to be with you and to be your friend. And I am extraordinarily proud to know your children. Tammy I know best, but all of your children, John Jr., Jamie, Jennifer, Teresa, wonderful examples of young people raised to participate and contribute to America. Your example has been an extraordinary one. More so than any other, the ability to work hard and pursue opportunities to become successful in business has been a defining characteristic of the American dream. Tonight, I'm proud to introduce an inductee who embodies the American dream, John Darvish. John Darvish has not only been a successful businessman and entrepreneur, he has been, as I said earlier, a role model for countless young people, not just his children, as well as a deeply caring philanthropist. Not only has John helped create good jobs in my district and in our state and in our Washington metropolitan area, but his company supports over 30 local charitable and civic organizations. Thank you, John Darvish, for that. John's journey to the Hall of Fame began in 1962, when he took a break from college to try his hand at selling used cars in Hyattsville, Maryland, otherwise known as one of the centers of the world, my district. He fell in love with the automobile business and with the daily interaction with customers that define car dealer's success. Now, his first paycheck, and Bob Banning Jr. is here, and I'm a little chagrined that John Darvish's first paycheck, Bob, was for $2.94. What kind of a salary is that for somebody as talented as John Darvish? Today, the business he created, Dar Cars, has over 30 franchise partners in 3 states. Dar Cars has nearly 2,000 employees and is one of the largest privately owned businesses in the Washington area. John has credited his success to a strong belief in putting customers first, an attitude that he makes sure is reflected by every one of his employees. He has also placed an emphasis on continuing education, encouraging and supporting those working at Dar Cars to be entrepreneurial and pursue opportunities to advance. Always conscious of his roots, John carries, as I said, his first paycheck, $2.94, everywhere he goes, as a reminder that all success comes from hard work. The greater Washington region, including many Maryland communities I serve in Congress, has benefited greatly from John's work and his civic involvement. I give a speech on personal responsibility that is the essence of John Darvish. It's a very short speech you'll be glad to hear. It's 10 words, all 2-letter words. If it is to be, it is up to me. Shamika, the gentleman that we are going to recognize and honor today, has used that as his credo in life, and he has made an extraordinary difference, not only in business, but in the life and welfare of his community. John, thank you very, very much for all you do and all you have done for our community and for our people. God bless you.
I grew up in Tehran. I have 4 sisters and 1 brother. My parents, they're very dedicated to our education and future. My first job was I worked in the cafeteria in Elam College, North Carolina. The only thing I knew about the English language was what I learned in high school. The cafeteria was 700 people 3 times a day. They want me to be the student manager. I took the job, but I didn't know what was going on. Making up menu, for example. One day they were going to put secretash in there. I didn't know what secretash was or how to spell it, but they got by. That taught me a lesson that in any business, talented people are more valuable than so-called experienced people. They hired a lot of talented people without experience and trained them. They did a great job. I came to this country to be a doctor, become to be a surgeon, a heart surgeon. But then I decided I want to be in the automobile business. The night that I told my father what my plans were, it was very interesting. I told him, Dad, I know what it took for you to send me to America. However, I'm sorry, I don't want to be a doctor. I want to become to be an automobile man. And he looked at me, he was quiet for a while, and he said, son, if that's what you want to do, you have my blessing. But don't become to be average, everyday automobile man. Become to be Henry Ford. The secret of success is to have dedicated people working for you. Take dedicated people over experience every time. It takes dedicated people to do the job, the kind of job that you're going to have to do to be successful. Based on that, when you talk about dedicated people, it reminds me of the story that Noah's Ark was made by a rookie. but Titanic was made. A bunch of
Ladies and gentlemen, a dedicated individual, John Darvish, our new inductee into the Hall of Fame. With the deep thanks of your fellow citizens and your friends. Ladies and gentlemen, John Darvish.
All right. As promised, my reporting continuing tonight. Everybody has his favorite celebrity or actor, but according to people close to him, John Darvish had more of an American Idol. He loved George Jefferson from the popular show The Jeffersons because of moving on up to the East Side and succeeding in business. So much so that his daughter Tammy went so far as to hire the actor who played George Jefferson, Sherman Hemsley, to surprise John at a birthday party one year. No word whether Wheezy showed up either. Oh, and by the way, Congressman Hoyer, Senator Mikulski called something about a short joke. I'm not sure. Ladies and gentlemen, the second course is about to be served. Please enjoy. The program will continue in just a moment.